Hi, and welcome to this episode of What's This For? Today, we're going to talk about multi-track recorders. A multi-track recorder is a digital device that allows you to put multiple inputs, which would be a guitar, a bass, a keyboard, vocals, etc., a drum kit. A couple of things. You can either master it completely on this unit, which means you mix it all down, get the right mix, you pan left and right, mix it down and create a published piece of music, which you can put on the internet or Instagram or whatever you want. The second thing is it allows you to record your session. It allows you to give it to somebody else, either through Dropbox or a memory stick, and then they can go away to their studio, give you a recording that matches this one, and then you can put them all together. Whether you do that on a DAW, whether you do that here, you actually produce and share music. So stick around and we'll have a look at how multi-track recorders work. It's called an R16 because it allows you to record the first 8 all together if you want to, and it'll imprint those. Then you can press a button which changes to 9 to 16. Then using the same inputs, if you record on input 1, instead of going to 1, it'll go to 9. And if you use input 2, it'll go to 10. So inputs 1 to 8 will then become 9 to 16. And you can play all of those back at the same time. You can master all of those 16 tracks, but you can only record with up to 8 at a time. You can record 1 or 2 or 8 in one session. It's project 4, and I'll just hit enter. I won't change, and I'll just accept it. And it's going to create project 4. So right now, it's created a new memory slot, and you can see all those green lights have turned on, and it's waiting for inputs 1, 2, 3, up to 8. If I was to press this button here, 9 to 16, we're still recording on 1 to 8, but instead of them being imprinted on memories 1 to 8, they'll be imprinted on memories 9 to 16. So if you press this button first, it'll print using the same inputs, 8 tracks, up to 8 tracks, and then you can press this button and it will then record on the same hardware but put them in different memory positions. So that's how you can get your 16 tracks. Now, in order to record, let's say I had a guitar here and a bass here. I would press both of those into red, and they would be ready for me to plug something in here, and it would record those two when I pressed play and record together. It's probably a good idea for me now just to talk a little bit about these. You've got a project, a tool. I'll talk about tools. So what I'm going to do here is I've just told one of the tools I want to use is a metronome, and I'm going to press this, watch it change to on, and I'm telling it under what conditions do I want a metronome. So I'm going to tell it to when I'm recording and I'm playing. So I'm just turning the jog wheel here. For example, if I start playing, you can hear that there's a metronome coming through, which allows me to listen, but it won't be in the recording. If I capture a couple of inputs at a time, they will all be synced to the same metronome if I turn the metronome on. There's a setting here where you can change the metronome speed, and I think it probably defaults to 120. Record through these. They will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if I press this, they will be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've now connected a guitar lead here, but I don't have anything connected into input 2. So I'm going to, only this one will record at the moment. Now, before I get started, I'm playing guitar, but the signal is very low. It's coming straight out of my guitar with no processing. What I'm going to do is change the gain here until I get a reasonable signal. I'm going to tell it to record, and then I'm going to tell it to start. Then we'll hear a click track 1, 2, 3, 4, accentuated on the 1. Hi, and welcome back. I had a couple of issues, so I've just re-recorded something. Earlier on, you saw me record this guitar here, But what I've also done is, after recording that guitar, I also recorded a bass, and then I recorded some drums through this MPC. So altogether I had this. And you can see I can mix these. So in order to master, what we're going to do is go into the insert effects. And here we've got two things. Number one is there's a whole lot of different effects which were clean, distortion, but we want to go to the one that says mastering. And the other thing that's not apparent here is that you've got to go down and tell it what your input source is. So at the moment I've got it master, but by default it's probably on 1 and 2. So if I was to run the master algorithm, it might actually do 1 and 2. In this case, these aren't 1 and 2. They're actually 9, 10, 11 instead of 1, 2, 3, because I recorded them on this bank here. So the important thing was, just getting back to this, is you've got to tell, the second thing you've got to tell it is that you're going to master everything, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 1 to 8, 9 to 16 will all be mastered now, because the input source is called master. So that's an important thing that you've got to know. Let's just listen to what it's going to do. There's a couple of algorithms, and I want to show you how that works. So I'm going to play, but I'm going to move across. Can you hear that the mastering has changed? That's Titan. That's 1930s. That's a lo-fi. But I want this here. So now that I've chose mastering and rock show, the next thing is we press this master switch and we tell it record and play. And as I change the faders, it will actually imprint this. If I were to remove the memory card from here, it would actually have a master 000 or 001, depending on how many I've mastered. And that's how we've recorded 1, 2, 3 tracks, and we've mastered them all down and given it some kind of a reasonable mix. So that's very quickly how you use a multi-track recorder. So finally, folks, episode 4, what's this for? This is a multi-track recorder. It's a Zoom R16, which allows you 16 total tracks, but you can record 1, 2, or up to 8 at one time. We demonstrated first putting in a guitar, then putting in a bass, and then putting in a drum. I did that off screen because I had some issues. And then finally, I showed you that you create a mastering algorithm, and you put it all together so that it merges the frequencies using a rock show algorithm that is a reasonably good blend of sounds for this kind of music recording. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm a little bit challenged to get these videos out, and I'm trying different equipment. Today I've used an iPhone and my editing program, and I'm not sure how good it's going to be, but now continue doing this, and I'm going to try and get better and better as I go. So all the best to you. What's this for, number 4? Cheers and big ears. Thank you.